Good evening and welcome to episode 48 of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. Tonight here with just me, Dan, and...
Just me, Greg, because...
Damian is a pussy and decided he would rather stay at home rather than hang out in a cold basement and talk about toy soldiers and whatnot.
That is an accurate description of what has happened.
That's an accurate description of Damian. 24/7.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. I'm just trying to get a photo for the Instagram because we're Insta famous and shit.
Yeah, hashtag life, biatch.
Shit. Anyway, episode 48 is quite a big number. It's quite a lot of it, but we haven't been around for a while. Not quite 50.
Not quite 50.
So it's not really creepy, but it's getting pretty close. Getting pretty close to creepy, but we haven't podcasted for a while. I had a look on Podbean, and the last one was published in April, so we didn't actually podcast
for
in
like
May.
2 months.
Well, 1 month, yeah, about 1 month,
bad
right?
Math,
yeah. So we should probably get a whole heap of information out there. So
much. So I find that if we don't podcast,
yes,
a lot more stuff happens, and therefore there's a lot more material to talk about. However, it's old, and it's not really news.
Well, but we haven't quite put our spin on it.
Yeah.
So
and put our fake news on it.
Fake news. Hashtag fake news. So speaking of fake news, it's real news. We should probably crack into some noob news.
But
how about
first,
that, Damo?
But what about our social media stuff?
Everybody knows about social media.
Do they though?
They might not. So we're on Facebook, Behind Enemy Lines Podcast. We have a blog. BEL something or other podcast. It's on, search for Behind Enemy Lines Podcast on Google. It'll pop up. We are on Twitter at BEL_podcast. We are on Instagram at BEL_podcast. And we are on YouTube. Search for Behind Enemy Lines Podcast. Don't look for the stupid Owen Wilson movie.
And we have a Gmail that we forgot the password to, so don't
I know
email
the password.
us. Oh, well,
I've got all that.
Don't email us because we don't read it anyway.
That's true. I don't read the emails. I do see them if they come through, but mostly it's about Google updates and stuff like that. So we shall indeed crack into noob news, but as Damo is not here, I will provide the obligatory morning Marty.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. So, noob news, what is on the list?
Well, Games Workshop at that, what was that big UK...
Warhammer Fest?
No, it was a diptych... No, it was some big... No, Warhammer Fest was just recently, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
But there was one slightly before that.
The London GT?
No, that was
We're not talking about that.
Not that joke. No, there's somewhere. You probably know.
Salute?
No, they don't go to that.
Games Expo?
Maybe. I don't know. Wherever it was, they brought out their new Adeptus Titanicus.
That was at Warhammer Fest.
Oh, whatever. Same thing.
Maybe it was the Games... I think it was Games Expo, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those places. It was before the Warhammer Festy thing. Anyway, they brought that out. At the start, everyone thought, oh, no, it's just going to be them announcing a new video game / whatever it was they had, which they released around about the same time with a bunch of knights and shit.
Yes.
But out popped this... what looks to be proper true scale ish Adeptus Titanicus.
Yes.
It does not marry up with your old original Titans, which once again were woefully underscaled anyway.
Oh, totally.
And that was probably the technology at the time which didn't allow them to build things to the size and shape.
I remember those kits were like when they first came out with those multi-part, multi-weapon, the Beetleback Warlord Titans. Those were cutting edge at the time. Oh, and now they just like
they
shit.
are because they were plug and play as well.
Yeah.
You could pop bits out and pop bits in, and nowadays they look terrible.
Yeah,
but I've got a couple of Imperator Titans, and they're nowhere near the scale of how an Imperator Titan is described as being.
Not even close.
But these ones with their Warlord, they had a Warlord on display. No Warhounds. They had a Warlord,
a Reaver,
and Knights.
Correct.
And they looked spectacular. The Warlord looked like their large-scale Warlord, just shrunk down.
Yep.
And the Reaver looked like a Reaver does. And Knights looked like little mini Knights.
Itty-bitty Knight.
As long as they keep the rest of the stuff, the little Space Marines and the, what do you call them, the Rhinos and the Blame Blades and all the little Lemon Russes.
Yeah.
When they eventually introduce them, if they do. As long as they look the same scale as they are now, I think they would get away with that much goodwill. Also, the terrain.
Oh, the terrain looks amazing.
That was pretty good. The terrain was like, wow, look at that whole what do you call them, manufactoriums
City
and little city blocks. And,
yeah.
And it's going to be so expensive.
I don't know. From what I've been reading online, like there's a heap of discussion about it, right? And from what people are hearing rumor wise coming out of people in the know that know people at GW, the initial box set that you're going to get, the way that it's priced, you're effectively going to get one of the Warlord Titans in that box for free.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
As far as the price works out. So if those Titans end up being, say, $100 each for shits and gigs,
which would be terribly expensive, yes.
Then expect the box to be whatever the price of the stuff in it is minus $100, which I think could be pretty good, given the success that they had.
Except once it hits here. I mean, their box sets have been a hit because they've been reasonably priced worldwide.
Yes.
Entrance prices, like in New Zealand, as everyone knows, it's triple the price of everywhere else.
Which we still don't understand why.
But they'll tell us it's shipping and blah, 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 and other bullshit. But the thing I don't... the box, as long as the box sets are reasonably priced, they'll sell them.
Yeah, totally.
If they're overpriced, they'll sell only a couple.
They will sell, but it's only going to be the hardcore.
And they won't get the hype that...
Dark Imperium?
Dark Imperium got. Oh my goodness.
Shit,
that drug us back into the darkness of the 41st millennium.
Still there.
I know, it's pretty scary.
It's just blue. Everything in my house is blue.
I mean, I played more games. I've probably said this many times. More games than the last time I played 40k was when I was about 15.
So that was what, second ed?
No, third ed. And that was like the last time I played. I used to play. I was 15 when I was in high school. And after that, I thought about the idea of 40k seemed great, but it just got worse.
Yeah.
Each edition. Until 8th came along, it's like, hey, this is not spastic.
Top-notch edition.
So, and it's also affordable. I mean, we earn lots of money, but now as adults, and I think they know us, we still have disposable income, but we also have wives who don't allow major spending on, whatever we want.
Banks that don't allow it.
And the other thing is, like, it comes with, just like the 3rd edition box set did, comes with 2 forces.
Yeah, perfect.
Which is like a 50-50 split, which is also great.
Yep.
And I don't know if the Adeptus Titanicus box comes with that.
It does. So what you get in the box can effectively make a heresy side and a Imperium.
And
side.
this is heresy, so it's pre-spikes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. In other news, speaking about really well-priced box set,
Soul
Wars. Holy shit, that came out of nowhere.
It did. That was... So we'd all heard rumors of 2nd edition Age of Sigmar, which looks like it was to tidy it. Like the General's book had been announced prior to this.
Yeah.
And it looks like it'd been to tidy up, some of the rules that got a bit weird and make it a bit more like 8th edition 40k does. I mean, it's got, not stratagems, it's got command points in it now. So you can use those kind of things.
Okay.
They also introduced like what looked like persistent spells, which rolled around on the battlefield, and you got these like cool looking models. The
models look super cool, right?
Pretty cool. But they've got that Soul Wars for Age of Sigmar, which has
you've got a Sigmarite army in there
and a Nighthaunt
Nighthaunt army as well. Yeah,
which is and the push fit, which is pretty amazing. So all you need to do, like this is one of those things that will get you into the game fast. If it was one piece minis, that's the only way you get into the game faster.
Absolutely.
And push fit is just take it off the sprue, put it together, and you can start playing.
Done.
But you should paint it first so you don't have ugly armies.
You should paint your terrain as well.
Yeah. Oh, should build it as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. This Soul Wars box has really got me interested in Age of Sigmar. So, if from what we're hearing, so the rules that are coming out, the rules that are being teased, AOS has got a reasonable rule set already, unless you ask Damo.
Well, the thing is, the reason Damian hates it is because he played that very first edition that came out, where one of the rules was if you had a certain character and you made your opponent laugh or sing or you danced or something retarded like that, you'd win, or his hero would die. And stupid. I think he played the version which was a bit more serious than that, and he won. Yeah. And he was like, "This is stupid," blah blah blah, and then gave up.
Yeah.
Because
So this one, I think I'm going to end up getting.
Yes.
And I'm going to trade probably with Andrew. He wants the Nighthaunt, and I'm cool with that.
He wants the ghosts.
Yeah, I can paint up a whole heap of Sigmarites.
And you want the gold boys.
And be happy. Well, I'd be okay with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One can of gold.
That's what I got.
Done.
That's what I got.
Mind you, the Nighthorn wouldn't be too hard to paint.
No, not at all. Well, with the new technical paints that G-Dubs released.
The ghosty paints?
Yeah, they look super simple.
I would take to these with an airbrush to make the cool ghost effects. That's just me.
Yeah.
Lots of rust. I do like rust. It looks
Rust
good.
work good.
Rust is good.
New codex information coming out of G-Dub as well. So Imperial Knights has been released. That is in market now.
Yep, so you've got lots of knights, even knights with shoulder guns, knights with harpoons,
Are they
mini
Castellans?
knights.
No, Dominators.
There's Knight big.
Huge big knights inside knights.
Yeah.
Centurion knights.
Yeah, I watched a game the other night when it had some insane flamers. Like, there's no way you were going to get into it.
Is that the one that's like D18, 3D6 shots or something?
Yeah, 3D6 flamer shots, and you're dead if you get close.
Fucking nuts.
Not fun.
I'll be getting one of them. But next out for Codex releases looks to be Space Wolves.
And then Orcs.
Finally, some Orcs.
Now, that makes it good for Orcs, because Orcs always get left behind.
Totally.
The reason Orcs get left behind is because they're the least selling item, the lowest selling item that Games Workshop has.
Mm-hmm. Nobody 40k
wants Orcs. Nobody wants Orcs. But that's the reason their Codex is behind.
Yep.
But the reason they don't sell as many is because
the Codex is
behind. So it's like one of those, what's it called? I don't know what it's called. It's probably some fancy word or something.
Self-perpetuating myth.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It's a bit silly. But with it coming out, so it's then Orcs are out, so that's everyone but anyone missing? Evil Knights?
Evil Knights?
Bad Knights don't have a book?
Yeah, because Harlequins just came out as well.
Yeah.
That's only,
I'm sure they're not missing anyone.
Trying to think. No.
What about them Tyrannid cultists? They got their own book yet?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay, maybe them. But they're pretty powerful in their index anyway.
Exactly.
Cheaty bastards.
Can't think of anything else.
But yeah, Orcs will get. Hopefully, they get a new range of Orcs.
Oh, Sisters of Silence, or are they in the Astra Militarum one?
They're in the Astra Indexy Imperial chicks and dudes.
Right. Okay.
Because they're Sisters of Silence. You mean
Imperial Agent? Yeah, Imperial Agents.
Yeah, Imperial Agents. I don't know.
Okay.
They're the Adeptus
Sororitas.
Yeah, that's it. But Orc Codex, hopefully that'll see some new Orc sculpts for the Orc players, or not.
They're quite good.
Yeah, considering Orcs are they're close combat monsters.
If you get them in,
because they got a 6+ save and they're pretty rubbish, but they're really tough. Once they're in close combat, you're pretty much ruined.
You buy them in units of 30.
Yeah.
So
and then you get all the warg and stuff like that, which is pretty mean.
And a pain boy.
And my favorite thing, which is that weapon that weaponizes grots.
Squigs.
No, it sucks up grots. And it teleports them inside things.
Yeah.
Super cool. It's very good.
Cool. Next out of some more stuff out of G-Dub. So there's been a whole heap of stuff coming out of G-Dub.
They just don't stop now.
Necromunda. So the next game
House
for
Cawdor.
Necromunda. Now these things look like cultists.
They look like dirty cultists.
Which doesn't look like Infinity.
Which doesn't look like...
Oh like my God. Did.
No, I think you mean Vansar.
Vansar, sorry. Yeah.
That made me a little bit angry with Vansar when they started looking like Infinity Minis. You probably heard that in the last podcast where I was like, what the... I almost bought them. I almost bought them. Instead, I was like so furious that they had those stupid face masks.
Yes.
I was like, damn it, I bought a box of Blood Bowl... Chaos Blood Bowl.
The Doom Lords.
And I might make a painting video
on
how to make your Doom Lord look all doomy.
Cool.
Maybe. Or just do it like me, I opened a box.
Then your Doom Lords can face my original Chaos, my 95 Chaos All-Stars and
Chunky
see how you
Lords.
Go. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But along with, so those are the Chaos releases. I've got my Chaos Dice.
Yes.
Man, they kill stuff. We'll talk about that later.
Okay,
They're good at killing stuff.
Good.
So, moving on to some of our other friends. Warlord Games did something super friggin' cool the other day.
Oh, yeah. They released their free rules for, what was it?
So, you could get the rules for Pike and Shot, Hail Caesar, Black Powder, Gates of Antares, pretty much all of their games except for Bolt Action, I think.
Probably because Bolt Action makes them money.
For free. You get PDF downloads for free. I was like... Yes, please.
Is it just a what's the word I'm looking for? Is it just a oh, why is my words failing me? Is it just a teaser, or is it basically the books?
It's the full rulebook.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so I got all three of them. I got Poker Shot, Hail Caesar, and Black Powder, all sitting. Well, I've downloaded them to my tablet now. I can just use them on my tablet.
Nice.
So
yeah, because
the future is here.
Because I do have, and they're in a box, and one day I want to get around to it. It's like some 7 Years War figures.
Oh yeah,
British 7 Years War figures.
There you go.
Because I don't know, I was going to do something at one stage.
That's
but
Black Powder.
That's Black Powder.
Yep.
Yes.
Go and see if they've still got the rulebook for free.
All
later.
right. You keep talking. I will Google things.
Now, I also saw a post on social from Warlord Games. Andy Chambers was in the Warlord HQ, and they were demoing a new game, but they'd fuzzed out the game, so we don't know what it's about. There's a new Andy Chambers designed game coming out of Warlord. Don't know when, don't know what it's about, but it's Andy Chambers, so it's got me buzzing. I love Andy Chambers. I think he's great.
Andy Chambers' history is Gates of Antares, right?
Yes, and he also helped work on Pike and Shot and Black Powder, all of them.
But what did he do at GW? Was he 3rd edition?
Andy Chambers would have been 2nd edition from memory.
I think Andy Chambers... Let's have a look. Andy Chambers. I wish there was an IMBD for...
There is.
Stuff you did.
40k wiki.
Oh, there is too. Holy shit, look at that. Well, what do you know? You just go to games. So he did... Oh, look at this. He did Warhammer 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition.
Yep.
Codex Imperialis, Codex Imperial Guard, 2nd edition.
Codex Imperialis, that was in 2nd edition.
It was. Codex Imperial Guard, 3rd edition and 2nd Codex. Codex Catachan, Space Wolves, Eldar, Necrons, 3rd edition. Demon Hunters, Chaos Space Marines, 3rd edition, 2nd Codex. He made the really mean Codex.
Ooh.
The one where you just had people just turning into... Damian's favourite. The one where you could cheat. What else did he do?
It's
he
not
did
cheating,
Index
it's in the
of
Codex.
Studies, Chapter Approved 2001, which I think I have on my shelf over there.
Oh, really?
Did 4 or 5. I've got a few chapter approves.
I've got 2017.
But okay. So he didn't make any of the specialist games.
No,
okay.
no. That was like Jervis Johnson.
That's the other fella, the bald fella, right? Which I think is Jervis Johnson.
Jervis, well, he wasn't bald when he was doing them.
Well, most of them weren't.
Yeah, Jervis is great. He created Blood Bowl.
Okay.
Love that guy.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what is.
Carry on.
That's right. Andy Chambers used to look like a space wolf. That was.
He
funny.
did. He did, absolutely.
Jervis Johnson isn't bald.
No, he's not.
I'm thinking of the other guy.
I don't know. Matt Ward?
No, he's not. Yeah, here we go. Jervis has been a key contributor to Necromunda, Epic, Necromunda, and Blood Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's good. Good games.
Absolutely. So, moving on to our good mates over at Battlefront. This weekend we'll see the Free Nations launch weekend, which should be a bit of fun. So some Canadians on table, and Australians, and Dutch, and French will be hitting the table. So box set releases are coming out for all of those at the moment, which is pretty damn cool. So that's all the plastic stuff that we've been talking about in the articles on the blog. Soviet expansions for tanks is coming out. So you've got KVs in there, you've got T-34s.
And they're in plastic, right?
They're in plastic.
Yeah.
You've got the Lend-Lease, Valentines, Churchills, Shermans, and Grants, I believe.
Oh, I like this. I'm looking at Battlefront's website now.
Oh, yes.
And they've got the Free Nations. And they put little flags next to, the countries that can have the things.
Oh, yeah, like so for the Leopard one.
Leopard ones, they've got Canadians, the
Dutch,
that's right. The other French is the other way around. And the Australians, they have the Leopard ones.
Yes.
Let's see what else they get. M109, the field batteries, Canadians and Dutch as well.
That's right.
And there's just a special Leopard 1 plastic, which is another thing which you might have heard us speak about previously.
We did.
Plastic leopards, which is great from Battlefront, going with everything that can be taken in a horde should now be in plastic.
Absolutely right.
Will be in plastic, which is like, they're thinking of you, the gamers. So that's the German one. There's also a plastic Canadian M113 plastic, and what I like the look of is the ADATS Air Defense platoon.
Oh, that thing is super cool, man.
Yeah. I do like a lot of the air defense weapons in this game.
Yeah.
They do look quite cool and teaming.
Like the Sergeant York?
Sergeant York, I think, is the ideal anti-aircraft weapon system that, if been allowed to develop properly, would have been the key to NATO's stranglehold.
Bullshit. The
over
Chaparral
Fulda Gap.
all day.
No.
Chaparral
No.
all day.
Chaparral
Although you can't beat a
dumb
good
missile.
Gepard.
Oh, Gepards. They're like murder guns.
Murder guns all day.
And it looks... I'm just looking again
Yes.
at the... Who are these people? The Canadian Mechanized Platoon.
Oh, they're super cool, man.
The Canadians have the old M1 tin helmets.
Yes.
Yeah, so they've got like that old, almost Vietnam look to them, except they don't appear that there appears to be camouflage on their helmets, like the woodland camouflage, but the rest of them they're just wearing like a green, a green army uniform. So that's pretty cool. I've seen some things also that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Bullshit.
But they're very nice looking, and you'll be seeing them soon.
I think I've already seen them.
Yeah, people will be angry about it, but yeah, fuck
Yeah,
them.
well, that's fine. Move
yeah.
to New Zealand if you want to see them.
Yeah, be cool like us.
Yeah, totes cool.
What else have they got? So Free Nations is out.
Yep.
They had their Battlefront Games Expo at the Games, but they haven't over like.
That was at Games.
That was a week ago. What
That's
is
at
this
Games
Games
Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an article by Chris up there on fielding a bishop troop.
Yeah, unofficial card in there as well. So that's a little bit of fun.
Version 4 edition. So you take.
Yeah.
It's like a shitty priest.
It is not. The bishop's awesome.
In fact, it's just with the way artillery works now. It's
super
probably
good.
It's probably a cheaper priest, to be honest.
How many points? You see?
It is. I just closed down their page.
That was a rookie move.
What a noob!
Unbelievable.
You talk more. I'll just find the.
Well,
points.
there's not really much else to talk about. So if you're finding that, I'm just going to give a shout out to our mate Ollie down at Battle Kiwi. He is just going from strength to strength, right? He is now being recognised by international gaming celebrities, such as...
Let's not make people who play toy soldiers celebrities.
Ash Barker's a celebrity.
He's an alright kind of guy.
He's great. I love Ash. I think he's great. So the latest... It's one of the latest episodes of Widgets and Wonders that Ash hosts on a weekly basis. New things going on. He's featuring the Star Wars Legion terrain from Battle Kiwi.
And you've got a bunch of that anyway.
And
you showed that off.
I did. And and they also used Battle Kiwi terrain at the FFG Nationals.
Nice.
In the European Championships. So on the Twitch stream and the rest of it, tables made up, playing Star Wars Legion, Battle Kiwi terrain, front and fucking center.
That's pretty good because he's in
amazing, man.
He's in like a semi-small town in the middle of New Zealand nowhere.
Correct.
And he's shipping this stuff all around the world.
And people all around the world are seeing it.
Yeah.
Right? So on that vein as well, he's also just popped up on site the new Star Wars Legion battle box.
I saw that to put all your cards and things, your
So you
dice
get
bits.
Tiny little tray. You get trays that you can put all your bits and pieces on, keep track of what your units are doing and all the rest of it. $89.95, but that gets you the box which you can keep all your dice and your tokens and everything in, and 8 of the small trays to keep your units in on table.
Nice.
Which I think is super cool. So
Nice.
I will be ordering one of those very, very soon.
That's pretty good. I like what he's going with the stuff. He's doing well. And what's even better, it's like, I always think, he's too busy for us, the little people, the little New Zealanders, and Australian who's stuck in New Zealand,
It's true.
to do stuff. I knew he was balls deep doing the Star Wars stuff, and I'm like, Ollie, I need oval bases.
2 of them.
No, I need like 10 of them.
Oh.
I need oval bases because Games Workshop don't actually sell oval bases anymore because they're morons.
That's true.
And
They sell them, not that they're morons.
well, no, they didn't sell. Well, they're not morons. They just didn't sell oval bases for like the cavalry. I'm like, oh, that's a dick move. And he asked, "Can you make them for me?" And within a day and a half, boom,
There they was.
there they was.
There they was.
Confused me.
It's good. Like I've caught up with him over email and on social and stuff, and I think he's coming up to New Zealand for...
Do you mean Auckland?
To Auckland. Fuck. For MidWinterCon at Mighty Ape.
Oh yeah, that's the one because that's the ones with all the smaller games with like Infinity
and Guild Ball and the rest of it, and we'll catch up.
He loves Infinity.
Yeah,
it's his favorite.
So I think I'm going to play Blood Bowl at that, maybe Legion. Not sure yet.
Yeah.
So we'll probably catch up there, which should be good.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nothing else that I've seen.
Nothing-
Although I did. Oh, and I'll find the article later on because I think I saved it to read later. But there was a good article that I saw around how when new codexes is coming out, people are expecting everything to be balanced as far as codexes. This article was saying, well, you see, not all the forces are supposed to be balanced.
No, and they're usually appointed correctly for that. And if they're
Exactly.
not, they normally get FAQ'd pretty quick now.
Yep.
Which is even better.
Yep.
And just FYI, the points for 4 bishops is 18 points.
For 4 of them.
For 4 of them.
Eesh, it's a bit expensive.
But they do have might target.
True.
And they can fire direct via smoke. And they have smoke bombardment.
Okay.
So, and they're British. I don't know what that means. But,
Means they'll be hit on 4s. They're really, really good at ranging in, so they'll range in on 3s or 4s.
And they're fearless for their motivation.
And
So they remount on a 3+. So.
Right. Well, not that they typically get bailed out anyway. What are they, front armor 3?
No, they're 3-2-1.
Right.
Yeah. So they're pretty good for an armored art. So that's better than the priest. Priest is front armor like 1 or 2.
2. Be 2 because
So buy priests, everybody.
No, buy bishops.
Buy bishops. Buy bishops. Yeah, there you go. So
Buy
good
bishop.
little thing.
You heard it here first. Speculation on bishops.
Yeah.
Buy them all out.
And I saw on Facebook the other day, because Battlefront does all their communication with their people on Facebook.
Not just communication, I'll have you know. They answer questions from all over the rules.
That's what I mean by communication.
Oh,
Not
right,
just
okay.
like they answer all people's silly questions.
I think that's great.
And it's a lot faster than they used to on the forums.
Oh, hell
and,
yeah.
And a lot of people are like, forums are better. It's like, yeah, not really. Forums were a lawless wasteland, and you people know that because you were scum.
And I am the law!
But when they came out and they talked about that GMC, is it GMC? GCM? GMC?
GMC, the gun motor carriage.
The gun motor, the little truck gun.
Yeah.
The anti-tank squad that I made, and someone came on and they said, hey, Daniel didn't do the best thing ever, and I was like, what? And they're like, didn't do the little, what's it, the M6, the little truck with the 37mm gun on the back.
Oh, like the
first tank
Portee.
destroyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, nice one. And then Phil told him, it's like, well, whip up some cards. I've given people the how to do it, and 98% of that is just a reading Wikipedia.
You know it.
Yep. So
and then they'll make it unofficial.
They'll make it unofficial,
yeah.
And of course, unofficial doesn't really mean anything. It's just...
It just means that you need to clear it with your tournament director.
And there's no way that a GMC list is going to win the tournament unless you're taking it against people with no guns.
Twos?
And probably Panzer II armies, but they don't exist, so
no
dramas.
All good.
Anyway, I think that's it. We'll take a break. You'll listen to an ad from our sponsors, and thanks for listening. I'll catch you in part 2. Have a fantastic evening and all that jazz. Bye. Or morning, depending how you're listening. On your drive to work or wherever.
Drive.
Need tokens, terrain, or custom battlefield accessories? BattleKiwi.com has you covered. With a wide range of laser cut MDF and acrylic, it has something to suit everyone's wargaming needs. Ranging from the battlefields of World War II to the far future of Infinity, BattleKiwi.com has it all. Visit BattleKiwi.com, and for a 5% discount, use the code BEL5.
And welcome back to part 2 of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. We're going to tell you about all the cool stuff that we've been up to. So there's been quite a bit going on in the last month-ish since we last invaded your ears.
Oh my goodness, my chair is getting older.
Man. So let's start with the most recent stuff. So we had a club meeting about 4 days ago, which was pretty cool. It was fucking hosing down, so not many people wanted to get out. But one thing that has started taking over the club, a lot of people getting involved, a lot of people into it, Gaslands.
It's quite popular. Ridiculously popular.
Ridiculously popular. And I think the reason for that is the entry point for it is so low. You buy a $20 book and you're in the game. It's a done deal.
It's pretty good. I bought my book on, I think, book depository.
Yeah, me too.
And it came within like a week or so.
Yeah, mine took about a month.
Yeah, if they don't have it, they don't have it, and it's going to take forever. Hang on. It's going to adjust my sitting position.
Oh, there you go.
That's better. You can hear me. You probably could hear me anyway. Whoops, he did.
So, if you haven't heard about Gaslands, it is post-apocalyptic car death races.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's really easy.
It's real basic. And, well, it looks complex because of all the counters.
Yeah.
But once you figure it out that the counters on the dice actually marry up to a dice facing like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. They mean something when you do it. It's pretty gosh darn good.
It's a really simple game to play. You can go out and get 3 or 4 Hot Wheels for like $1, $2. And just counts them as stuff that have guns and whatever else, and then later on you can mod them if you want to. You just need some dice. You need the movement templates, which you can just
photocopy and use as
or find someone with a 3D printer, as I have, and get them to print some out for you for monies.
A lot of the 3D printer guys have been going nuts on this and making all the... There's like a few generic files out there for the minigun, the heavy machine gun, the missiles. Just looking at the vehicles themselves, there are quite a lot of options, which I thought, okay, there won't be that many options, but you got about a page worth of guns and rams and sneaky things, and then special team-only weapons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So depending on who is sponsoring your team, you may be able to get some kind of upgrade or bonus or additional benefit as a result of that. So I think there's 8 different sponsor factions at the moment. Warden Slime, Mizuyaki, Mishkin, Rutherford.
Rutherford gets tanks, doesn't it?
Rutherford gets tanks. Yeah, they're the military ones. So maybe it's only 6.
It's only about 6, yeah.
Yeah, but like Warden and so my current crew is based around Warden, so they're convicts who are trying to get free, but most likely will end up dying, much to the joy of the crowd.
Yeah.
So they want to explode.
That's it.
So think Death Race crossed with Mad Max crossed with.
But think original Death Race.
Oh yeah, not the shitty remake.
Not the Jason Statham one, but the Sylvester Stallone one.
Yeah, man.
And cross it with a bit of Mad Max in them.
Yep.
But new Mad Max, Fury Road, but with automatic guns on, like basically the guy from Bullet Town's car.
Yeah.
But everybody has guns or droppers or rams.
Really cool,
and it's
man.
Very fun to watch. And my favorite part of any game is when nobody wins.
Yes.
When one person runs in, rams someone,
blows
them up, but because that person had explosives on them, they blow up as well.
Yes.
Crowd loves it. I love it. And I think it's the best bit of the game.
That also lends itself quite... So there's a lot of a player interaction within the turns, like you're egging people on and you're trying to make them do shit and all the rest of it. But it also allows for people who are watching the game to get involved with crowd votes. And things like, so if your cars explode... or you do certain things, you get audience votes, and the audience votes allow you to get particular bonuses. Or if you've run out of cars, your cars are all exploded.
Resurrect a car,
you can respawn, which I think is really cool. And allowing people who are spectating the game to give votes to people to allow them to do these things because of crazy shit that they've done, I think it just adds another layer to the game, which is so cool.
Another layer of crazy.
Absolutely. It plays really well as a 1v1, but it plays best when it's multiplayer. So the last game we had at club, so we're in the middle of a 3-match campaign at the moment. So week just gone was was our second game, and I think we had 6 players.
No, you had 7.
We had 7 sitting around the table. It was the zombie collection mission, so you had to go around and collect zombies. Stu has managed to get about 100 zombies from the Zombies board game. So we use those as zombies to capture. Some crazy stuff going on. And it's a lot. So the way the movement templates work, if you think about the way X-Wing worked, and still does work in terms of the movement dials, you choose a template that is going to dictate how far you go and in what direction, depending on which way you turn. But you can only do certain maneuvers and certain distances depending on what gear your car is in. It's all around gears.
And there's certain risks you could do with certain gears, so you get a bit of hazard, which can cause you to flip,
to wipe out,
or to spin, or to slide, which can also end up being in your favor,
depending on which way you do it. Yeah, it can absolutely be beneficial to you. So it's around. There's an aspect of knowing a bit of geometry, so you can sort of figure out where your car's going to end up. There's a bit of risk and reward associated with the types of cars that you take versus how many dice you roll versus how many.
The size of your car also plays a factor. If you're going to take a bus, you need to worry about where your bus is going to fit and how your bus is going to turn.
Yep, absolutely right. There's a lot of shooting. The shooting mechanics are really easy.
Yeah.
You hit people on 4, 5s, and 6s. And each weapon, depending on how powerful it is, gets a certain amount of dice to roll. So a heavy machine gun, for instance, is 2d6 worth of dice. 3d6 for a minigun.
Or like 8d6 for, I think, is it 8d6 or 6d6 for the battle cannon?
Battle cannon, 6d6, yeah.
Yeah,
so you roll those, and then whomever you're shooting at has the opportunity to evade them. They can roll evade dice up to the gear that they're in. So if they're in first gear, they can only roll 1 die in defense, onwards and upwards, and they defend on a 6. Yeah. Now, if you're rolling to hit, each 6 that you roll is a critical hit and is worth 2 hits.
Yeah, so it's an exploding dice,
which is super cool. And then if your car is reduced to 0 hull, there is the chance that it can explode. And
even if it and the chances are, like you're gonna say,
you can increase your chances to explode by equipping your car or the people driving the car, crewing the car, with grenades
or Molotovs.
Basically, or mines.
You take the cheapest thing that explodes,
buggy.
Yep, and you take Molotovs because they're cheap.
Yep,
and you don't ever throw the Molotovs.
Nope.
And you just drive around and you just become a little suicide vehicle.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there's no way to trigger like a car bomb or anything like that. Just to, drive up and explode too much cars at this point in time.
So there's a way that you can do it if you're using the Warden. So you can take a buggy.
Really?
A buggy is worth, I think it's 8 cans.
Yeah.
And they have 6 hull points. If you use Warden as your sponsor, you can reduce the cost of your car by 4 cans.
Yes.
But it decreases the hull by 2.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
So basically, you build a car bomb that just rams into things and explodes. Yes. Oh, that's lovely.
Yes. And because they're reduced in points, you can have more of them.
Oh, swarm of suicide buggies.
So I currently have 2 suicide buggies on my Warden crew with a big bus that shoots stuff and is also quite mean. So look, the game itself, I think, like there's a few tweaks that need to be made, potentially in a second edition that comes out. But for the most part, it's tight, man. And it is a heap of fun to play. And it's super easy.
It's a heap of fun to build. Like, you get your Hot Wheels from your Walmarts, your warehouses, shops, your whatever your equivalent of a big box
your
stores.
Dollar stores.
Well, not dollar stores because they don't sell Hot Wheels. Oh. And then
or a random type.
The Thought Wheels or whatever they're called.
Oh, you can't say thought.
I don't know what
people will get all.
Oh no, they can just shut up.
All right.
But yeah, and I converted my one with a little bit of plastic card and some armor pieces from Flames of War. I thought the Flames of War bits box was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Extra 50 cal machine guns
everywhere, and sure they're out of scale, but you can't really tell at this game.
Doesn't matter. Once you get it on the table, it all looks good anyway. So, like the first 3 cars that I've done, I threw them together really quickly so I could start playing games. I might start getting a little bit more serious about the modding, get some 3D prints and things like that to throw on them, but you don't even need to do that for the most part.
I've done my first 2. Where one's got a huge giant ram and nothing else. And maybe extra armor by the looks of things. The other one was a station wagon that I went to a dollar store and bought a sieve. And, sieve for...
Oh, yeah.
For cooking. Cooking sieve, you put flour or, I don't know, what you're cooking shit for. Yes. And and I put it inside to cut the bottom out of the station wagon and replace the window bits with the sieve, so it looks like it's got a cage
Looks like
inside.
mesh. Yeah, it's awesome.
And on top of it, I put a magnet.
Yes.
And I got a turret from the SKFZ 222.
Yes.
And on top of that, I put a spare rack of rockets from a Typhoon.
Yes.
And click, it's a magnetized, and it's a turret.
Nice. And then you could put other weapons on there, magnetized.
Or I get the other, because I've got a whole bunch of these turrets in the room.
Yeah.
I could put machine guns, miniguns.
Yeah, but turreting them.
Turreting them triples the cost, but I can shoot anyway. And if I'm going to be rocking around with a big ass station wagon, I'm going to treat it just like I treated my Y-Wings in thing. In what's that game? In X-Wing. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Just drive like a mad bastard.
Very cool. Look, we are planning to get a couple of videos of Gaslands done. Stu, who's running the campaign for us, who is doing a heap of 3D printing and stuff to get the terrain done and all the rest of it, is keen as beans to play. So I think we are planning to have a game tomorrow night.
Yes, hopefully.
So we'll see how that goes and hopefully get that up on the YouTubes for you. But
very good.
The game has really brought a lot of people out to just sit down and play toy cars.
And I think a lot of people wanted an excuse to go and paint Hot Wheels to post-apocalyptic them, and
it's like running your own chop shop.
Pretty much. Mini chop shop.
Mini chop.
And it's a fun game.
Yeah. But it's not just been Gaslands. Actually, it has just been Gaslands.
Pretty much just Gaslands. But you went somewhere else last club. You went, or the week before. You went on a trip.
I did. I went to Wellington, the nation's capital, in the middle of the country, at the bottom of the North Island. And I played in the fifth running of the Capital Shield, which is a Blood Bowl tournament. I make no secret of my love for Blood Bowl. I think it is probably the greatest game that Games Workshop has ever made. Ooh. Ever. So Daryl and I went down to, Daryl from TKL went down to Wellington. The tournament was a perpetual tournament, so there's no level ups or anything like that. You take the one team, and from match to match, if people died or anything like that, then they just came back for the next game. So depending on what race you took, then set the level of money that you could spend on buying your team, and it also said how many skills you could give to players to make them a little bit better. I took my Chaos team because I love my Chaos team to bits. Did a 4 Chaos Warrior Minotaur Beastman build. Went down, and I wanted to win games. Absolutely, I wanted to win games. But mostly I wanted to kill shit.
And how'd that work out for you?
I won the Most Casualties award by, I think... So we played 5 games over the 2 days. I had a grand total of 27 casualties.
Whoa, in 2 days?
In 2 days.
Nice.
So that's an average of 5.4 casualties per game.
Did you play a halfling team?
I did.
Oh, did you murder a lot of halflings?
Nope.
What?
Killed 4 halflings.
That's not enough.
I know, they kept sneaking away, little bastards. Oh. So from memory, my count at the end was 8 Skaven, 5 dwarves, 5 goblins, I want to say 4 Norse, 5 Norse, 4 halflings, and a Yeti.
Yeti?
A Yeti.
Who gets Yetis?
Norse.
Oh, cool.
They get Yetis. So killed me a Yeti. I think a couple of the Norse were werewolves as well, so that sort of added to the mix. I think the next closest player was on 23 casualties, and I think that was the Norse player that I played in the last game. Super fun tournament. Big shout out to Steve and the guys down in Wellington. You guys ran a great show.
It was held
at a pub.
You don't drink. It was held in a pub, and I thought that's great. And I think all Blood Bowl tournaments should be held in pubs.
It's Blood Bowl in its purest form.
Was it an open garden bar that you're in?
It was closed. It had a roof and everything because it was pissing down on the Sunday.
Oh, because it looked like it was outside.
Yeah, but it was like a clear roof.
Clear roof. It was raining a lot.
And it was raining. But so, like, heaps of light in there. The people from the pub, like, opened early for us to let us in, and we were allowed to store our stuff there. And
nice.
So the venue came free, but they knew because we'd be putting a shitload of money over the bar.
That's pretty good. So they said you can have this for free for 2 days.
Yes.
And then people decided they would spend. Did they have food?
Yep.
Good food?
Full pub meal. Yeah, full pub meals, man. Full pub meals. It was awesome. So like their only stipulation was you cannot bring outside food and or drink. Fair enough, I say.
Yeah.
And yeah, bloody great tournament. Like full, like massive prize support. Like for my
yeah, what'd you get for murdering everybody?
A new team.
What?
A full team.
What'd you get?
Amazons.
Oh, nice.
So these are, but they're not like Amazons. They're made by another company. I don't know the name of the company.
Is it that other one that does a whole bunch of Blood Bowl-ish?
Grebo Games? No, it's not Grebo.
No?
This is a company I've never heard of, but they're like American football,
yeah.
lingerie football.
Oh god,
Amazons.
Yes, I know the ones.
Yeah,
I've seen them before.
So I'm building those at the moment. They're really tricky resin to work with, though.
Are they resin?
Yeah, they're resin. But it might be my super glue that's the problem. I think my super glue might have gone a bit off.
Yeah. No.
So I'm working on building those at the moment. But there was like there was spot prizes, there was all kinds of stuff. We had some death roller racing at the end, which is a hell of a lot of fun. All in all, it was just a really, really good weekend of Blood Bowl.
How many people were there?
30 players all told.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So the winner of the event, Harry, doesn't actually own. I don't know. I don't think he has his own team. But he said to Steve, "Hey, look, I'll play your Bretonians, who are a reasonably new race new faction introduced to the Blood Bowl world. Bring your Bretonians and I'll play them." Steve's like, "Yeah, sweet." Grabbed his box for his Bretonians, took it down. Harry turned up on the day, opened up the box of Bretonians, only to find they were Skaven.
Filthy rat men.
So then proceeded to play the Skaven and win the whole fucking tournament.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've heard things like this before.
His team name was the Cheeseburglars.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Murray, who runs the Auckland Blood Bowl Federation League, came second with his High Elves.
Nice.
High Elves, yeah. Stinking elves. And then Quinton from Hawke's Bay, who was running Kimry, ended up coming third, which is pretty cool.
Nice. And there's no broken forces in there. There's no big champion winning.
No, so the way that it's set out, because it's
perpetual and it's not.
So you can't. So nobody can die.
Stuff.
You can't add or subtract stuff. And the way that the levels, like tier 1 teams, like teams that win all the time, have less gold to spend on their starting teams. Tier 2 teams a little bit more, and then tier 3 teams, goblins, halflings, that kind of thing, have more money to spend and get access to more skills. So it sort of balances itself out that way.
Because each game is an individual one-off. You're not getting experience or learning from it. You're just suffering the consequences of dying.
No.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So you reset at the start of every game. So really, really cool. I think I ended up, my results were 1 win, 1 draw, 3 losses.
Oh, yeah. It's not bad.
So I didn't finish at the bottom of the table, but
you didn't finish.
I didn't finish at the top.
Yeah. But you smashed a lot of people.
Oh my god.
And that's what Chaos does. Smashes people.
Like the game where I killed and or injured all the dwarves. Dwarves are really tough to kill.
Oh yeah.
They're like they come with block. They come with you've got to knock them over, and then they're high armor as well. So getting through their armor is just it's real tough.
Dwarves used to be when I used to play, like a couple of games that I played of Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
I took dwarves, and I found not very good at running, not very good at catching, but what they are good at doing is taking hits and beating the shit out of the other team.
Dwarves, you just cage up and you grind down the field.
And that's what I was doing. It's like, well, cool, you've now run out, you've got like half your players on the field, so now my dwarves could throw the ball, run.
You don't throw the ball with
No,
dwarves.
you just run with the ball.
March them down the pitch.
Yeah, and hope they pick up the ball.
All you do, man.
Or one of the games where they spent the time dropping the ball, picking the ball up, dropping the ball, picking the ball up. Just somehow fall over the goal line.
So good. But I mean, there's like we had other things as well. Like there was fail bingo that we were playing. So if you had really bad things, so everybody had a bingo card.
Yeah.
And if bad things happened during the game, you could cross off certain things, and the first person to get a full line won a prize.
Nice.
As well. So it's things like if you roll a 1 for something, and then you spend a reroll, and then roll a 1 again.
Nice.
You get to cross that off. Things like having a player killed by a rock from the kickoff, roll the kickoff table where people throw a rock.
Oh yeah,
things like that. I got to cross that one off.
Oh, nice.
Falling over while going for it to score a touchdown.
Ooh.
Just all things like that. And I think the winner ended up winning in round 2.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Unfortunate timing.
Well, I think he crossed 3 of them off in the first game alone.
Whoa.
So, yeah, just the way the tournament was run, super awesome event. No dick moves, no nothing like that. Just
That's
everybody
nice.
having a really good time playing some Blood Bowl.
I like a nice, quiet tournament like that. With lots of everyone having fun and no BS afterwards.
Such as the tournaments that we've got coming up.
Well, Panzerschreck doesn't usually have too much bullshit.
That's true. Panzer Shrek is a month away.
Yep. Bob and I are ready to go. We're going to take Camp Group Hummel.
Maybe.
Excited.
Maybe.
Yeah. Me and Bob taking Tigers now.
Bullshit.
Yeah, we decided we're going to take Tigers and we're going to miss
Did you really?
No, don't be dumb.
Yeah, reckon. Although I do see you've got a tiger sitting there on your painting desk.
Oh, that's an old one. That was me testing something with masking. And it did not work and will be stripped later on and put back in the corner of shame.
Damo and I might be taking Hummel.
Nah. Yeah. Ooh.
I sent a message to Damo and I said, "So what do you reckon about lists?" And he's like, "I don't give a shit. Make a list. I'm only there for the road trip and the lols."
That's true. We do take. What do? We drive
6 hours.
We drive 8 hours.
6 hours.
On a 6-hour drive because the inevitable road closures, because our desert road will be closed in the winter because it will snow.
There were closures on the desert road yesterday.
Which means by the time we get down there in July, there'll be no more road closures because the snow would have blown its load.
Wrong.
Or better yet, in the middle of ski season, Mount Ruape will erupt again.
Oh yeah.
Because why not have that happen again?
We should properly go to New Plymouth this time and stop in and see Ollie.
Oh, but we have to go to New Plymouth, and that's so far away.
It's like 2 minutes from where we turn off to go to fucking Stratford.
Oh, Stratford is worse.
Yeah, exactly.
No one can drive in Stratford.
So we're plans are already in motion for Panzerschreck.
It only costs $44 to fly there.
Yes.
Okay, but we'll take the car.
The road trip is part of the Panzerschreck experience for us now.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
It's part of the experience. It's what we do.
It's like an ordeal.
It's how we roll.
It's like, we had to do that thing once a year. And,
prostate
go
exam?
I'm not that old yet. But you have to do it and you don't like doing it. Like, maybe it'll be a review at work, or maybe you have to do a task that you have to do. Maybe it's like you go to the doctor and you have to get injections and shit, or, stuff like that. Something you have to do. That's what the road trip is to me. I
love the road trip.
I wish I could sleep on the road trip.
You can.
Oh, I can't.
Sit in the back.
I just spend 8 hours talking.
Sit in the back.
No, because then I sit in the back with you losers.
No,
not
if you sit in
gonna
the back,
happen.
I'll sit in the front.
No way. Back's for losers. I sit up the front so I can.
Are you going to take us through Hamilton this
year?
year?
Yeah, boy.
Fucking hell. Absolute bollocks.
So
but
it's exciting. I do enjoy Panzerschreck. No matter how much should I talk about Panzerschreck and the road trip there. It's a good fun road trip. We often stop in New Zealand's smallest towns to,
we do.
Or also known as
Huntling.
Shit towns of New Zealand.
We should get t-shirts. Let's say shit towns in New Zealand.
No, because I don't want to get murdered in Stratford.
We're going to stop and buy you that fucking orange high vis.
Oh, orange high vis polar fleece. Yeah. Camo orange high vis polar fleece. No, thank you.
We're doing it.
They had the full top and bottoms. I was like,
we're doing it.
And no. And then the lady's like, I'll give you a special deal on it. I was like, if the special deal is setting it on fire, then yes, you have a deal. Otherwise, no, thank you.
It's going to be great. You'll love it. You'll love it.
She probably knew I wasn't from town because I had 10 fingers.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you didn't look like one of her cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true. And this weekend is War Monkey.
Oh, is that? Oh, no wonder
It's
Dave was
this
so
weekend.
busy
Yeah,
building
that's
terrain.
why Dave can do it. Oh, it's on Saturday.
How many people were at that? 30?
I want to say 30.
That's 30. 30, 40k players?
34. No, 40, 30k. What?
30, 40k players playing 1,500 points.
40, 30k players?
30, 40k players
40, 30k players?
playing 1,500 points with 2-hour rounds each.
Yeah. Looks
Or
super cool,
1.5
man.
hours,
I think this is the first big event that they've hosted up at the new Silverdale. Like, I know they had the Yu-Gi-Oh card game nationals up there a few weeks back.
It's not hard to play cards.
Nobody gives a
Sit
shit.
down.
But this is going to be the first big tournament up at Silverdale, so hopefully it goes well for the guys up there. And coming soon, I think FlamesCon
Oh, yeah, when's that?
in October.
Cool.
It'll be in October, so planning for that has indeed started. We've just got to figure out the overall makeup of what we're going to do.
You should do early war,
We're not doing early war.
13 points.
13.
Just 13. Just one tank.
No.
Tank wars. Oh, you just play tanks.
No, I think we're gonna try and get a tanks tournament going.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll just see how we go. We did do a survey, so it looks as though the majority of people want to play late war.
Boo, people are dumb.
No, I think late war's super cool. I love late war.
But boo, people are dumb.
So we'll see how that goes. That's in the planning. So yeah, man, that's what we've been getting up to. Hot Wheels cars and road trips.
Yeah, pretty much. Ain't done much else.
Yeah, ain't much else
Got to plan for that road trip. Got to paint them armies. Get
I
ready
think
for
mine's
it.
already painted. If we take what I'm thinking we're going to take, I think I'm already painted,
Lazy.
which is super cool.
Lazy. Should have painted a brand new army from scratch like I always almost do.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and you only got a month to do it now.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just want to take my time.
I want to do a display board.
do it.
Yeah. I went to
pretty
Spotlight the other day and I bought like a piece of wood.
What? How big is it?
Oh no, I think it's under that box right there on the corner of the couch.
Okay.
Right in front of you. I don't know, it's one of... No, what does it look like? Is that it?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not big enough.
That's big enough.
No, it's not.
Yeah, trust me, I'm a doctor. I'll figure something
What
out.
are you? I mean, aren't you taking like a heap of fucking armored cars?
Oh, it's only like 11 or 10, I don't know.
You never fit those on.
They're
there.
tiny.
What is it going to pay? Are you going to build build a fucking motor pool or something?
No, I'm going to put a little road on it, you know, and it's going to be raised because it's supposed to be in the Arnhem area and whatnot.
Arnhem?
Yeah, maybe put a blown up house because I think I have some of those around here somewhere.
Just build one.
No, it's
Scratch
just,
builder.
no, I think I already have one in resin, so I don't need to use my brains.
Oh yeah, fair cool.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, and see how that comes about, and see if you're jelly.
Totes jelly.
Yeah.
I've already got a display board. I don't need to. I've got two
All right, good work, you.
with raised roads,
Nice. Anyway,
road signs, hills.
all right, calm your tits.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in part 3 where we're going to talk about
We'll look a bit more into
the age.
The age.
The Age of Sigmar.
We are.
The Age of Sigmar.
You know why we're doing that?
Because we purchased it and
Because
didn't have-
Damo's not here.
Oh yeah, Damian's not here, so we can talk about it all day.
Game on, bitches.
We shouldn't say game on, bitches.
Oh.
Dice of War. Dice of War supply custom and historical wargaming dice and accessories. Unique designs to suit your gaming requirements. Visit the online store today at diceofwar.com.au. Welcome back to the Behind Enemy Lines podcast, part 3. Here we go. We're going to talk about Age of Sigmar and the Forbidden Game. Because we can talk about it as much as we like and be as positive as we like about it. Because Damian's not here to sit in the corner and be like, Age of Sigmar thirsty because I played it one time and it was dumb. And I hate everybody.
Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar. That's what he calls it. And he's always so grumpy. And he always makes noise. He's always banging his microphone. He's always like, bang, oh, whoops, sorry. And it's like, stop hitting your fucking microphone. Yeah, grumpy bastard. Anyway, Star Wars has announced new 2-player starter box from Games Workshop for Age of Sigmar, the second version.
I'm going to just quickly interrupt you, and I'm just going to read a
Don't
quote.
you dare interrupt
I'm going
me.
to read a quote from their site, from Games Workshop site, and I'm going to
Okay.
try and do it in a Games Workshop-y type voice.
There's a
Soul
Games-
Wars is, without a doubt, Warhammer Age of Sigmar's best boxed set ever. Hell, it may even be the best Warhammer box set ever. Jam-packed with brand new content for every kind of player, From 2 armies of never-before-seen models to the new edition's magnificent core book and even more besides.
I doubt they would have read it in that voice. They probably would have got that English chick who reads all their other stuff.
Oh, Siri.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
To voice act that.
That's a good
not
call.
Sound like you. And
Yeah,
who
fair
stopped and started because that's a terrible way of reading. Not continuous, not fluid. It was just... It would have got a serious 3 out of 10, maybe.
What the fuck?
You wouldn't have got the job. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But it looks good.
Oh, man.
Looks real good.
Like, they have seriously taken the lead from the massive success that they had with Dark Imperium here. 2 full armies that you can just put together.
Push together as well.
Push together.
No
as
brains
well.
required.
So
I always said that earlier, but...
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit more detail about what you get in there. So you have representing... So there's the Sacrosanct Chamber. So it's sort of Stormcast Eternals.
Representing
but
nobility,
not.
justice, and defiance.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're getting for the Stormcast Eternals. So you're getting 1, 2, 5, 10, 18, 19 minis in the box, including some, like, you get the Lord Arcanum on a Griff Charger, so he's on like a Griffin. You get a Knight Incanter, which is a Stormcast Eternal Battle Mage, which we haven't seen before.
A wizard.
3
Eternal.
Evocators, which are Warrior Wizards. You get 5 Castigators, 5 Secators, and the Celestar Ballista.
Which looks like a heavy bolter tarantula.
Yeah, totally does. Or like one of the old Elven bolt throwers.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like.
But
as well.
not because they're Stormcast Eternals.
No.
And for the Dread Legions of the Nighthaunt, you are looking at a Knight of Shrouds on an Ethereal Steed.
33 models.
33 models, nice. So the Knight of Shrouds on the Ethereal Steed, the Lord Executioner, 3. How many is that?
1 Guardian of Souls.
Yep, 1 Guardian of Souls, 1 Spirit Torment, 4 Grimghast Reapers. Yep. 5 Glade Wrath Stalkers and 20 Chain Rasps. Now, looking at these models, they are nice, real nice.
Oh man, we've said it a billion times. Games Workshop models are super beautiful.
Yeah,
Can't take that away from them.
There are people out there who will make really nice resin models, really great sculpts, really fantastic. But Games Workshop have got the money and cornered the market in plastic injection and using their nerdy guys to do the art, the drawing.
Hey guys, do you know
the digital sculpting?
Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for. And then have them turned into plastic and pushed through with the hot goo and turned into magical money-making models. Yeah, basically. Not only that, but you get what looks to be you get your Get Started booklet, which has a guide to teach you how to play the game, first of all. There's also a 32-page Battle for Glimsforge booklet, which follows the stories of the armies inside that box set themselves.
Yeah, it looks like a little campaign-y type deal.
Yeah. Just going down, there's also, which is quite cool, 13 the new format War Scroll cards.
Yep.
Which makes checking the rules of your models mid-game easier. So just like we have with Flames of War, they have cards.
Yeah, data cards.
And do we have data cards? No. Do we have data cards for our models in 40k?
Yep.
Really?
Each army has a box of cards.
Does it say stuff about the models on them?
Oh, maybe not.
No, it doesn't. No.
We need those.
We need those for 40k.
Yeah,
We've got them in Flames of War. We've got them now in, what do you call this?
Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar. Maybe 40k could do that because it saves us going backwards and forwards to your book, your PDF. Especially if you've got one of them hardbacks.
They did some in the First Strike box set. So you got the cards for the Reaver, the Primaris Reavers, and the Primaris Intercessors.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So there were a couple
cool.
of those, but nothing further to that.
Oh, stink.
But I would imagine you can, when they bring out the much anticipated army builder, I would imagine it will have something similar to that in terms of War Scrolls or whatever it is.
Oh, damn. I didn't see this. There's the 320-page rulebook.
Oh, yeah.
The core rulebook, which is great because that tells me that this is a proper starter set, and that I assume they're going to make it hardcover just like they did with the 40k one. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
310 pages.
Oh,
Fluff
it's pretty.
up the wazoo,
Fluff and
man.
pretty. Could actually find out what happened to the Warhammer world. Apparently it broke or some such. Not.
Yeah, something
not.
like that. So the first half of the book is the fluff. Second part of the book is the game. So that's the rules in terms of the Realm of Battle rules. Part of the way Age of Sigmar works is that your terrain has different types, arcane or demonic, or
Because it does stuff.
it does stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Battle plan generators, narrative play games, and new battle. So effectively, missions that you can play.
I'm just looking at the
You're looking
the
at malign
persistent,
sorcery.
the persistent magic that's does like little cool things like the number 9, which is what's that?
Yeah.
The burning head, a massive flaming skull that makes everyone around it fight harder if it doesn't
So cool,
incinerate
man.
them first. So cool,
Like,
such
so,
fun.
So this thing for malign sorcery, in terms of this new box of things, you know how we like lumped shit on like the box of bases that was like $100 and something that provided extra scenic bases for your kits and everything.
Oh yeah,
This will be similar to that, but useful.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first expansion has already been spoiled as well, and it's malign sorcery, so it's all the magics that you need. So you've got a wizard in your army, then you need this new expansion.
Oh look, and I'm also looking at the General's Handbook for 2018, which is released this month-ish, maybe.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Let's see what they have. It contains a new set of rules for summoning every army that's used before summoning every army. Interesting. As well as its allegiance abilities for reference stats. Darkling Covens, Dispossessed, Free Peoples, Fire Slayers, Seraphon, Wanderers, Brayherd, Slanesh, Slaves to Darkness, Skaven Pestilence, Skaven Scryer, Flesh Eater Courts, and Iron Jaws.
Yep.
So that covers everyone except Bretonians. Unless they're under Free Peoples, which I think is just
Bretonians be under
Empire.
free papers. Yeah.
Free Peoples.
A couple of new technical paints, which we already talked about before. Hexwraith Flame and Nighthawk Gloom. So these are washes that give some an ethereal type look.
Yeah. So they've got examples here of the blue one, which is the Nighthawk Gloom, and the Hexwrath Flame, just being painted over white.
Yep.
Gives it a ghostly effect.
Looks pretty cool,
Looks
actually.
pretty good. It looks like it's a wash, but a bit of a heavier wash that allows the white to still show through.
Yeah.
They got accessories which will cost too much.
Correct. Don't worry about those.
What's this?
Dice. Scenery
dice
table
and
dice.
scenery stuff. That's
So it's
interesting.
scenery dice.
Scenery dice.
So you can mark the scenery with the die.
Hey.
So you can remember what type of scenery it is.
Smart.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, look at that.
And then more new models.
More new models. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
man.
Hey, what are those? Are those new Banshees?
They are, yes, Miramorn Banshees.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
super cool. And then some new stuff for Stormcast Eternals.
It's funny
as well.
the Stormcast all have the same pose as the Custodes.
Don't care.
Nah.
I think they look super cool. So, I mean, even if you end up buying this box and not playing a lot of AOS, I think, in the way that I'm potentially doing it with Andrew, same as you and I did with the Dark Imperium, where we swap over the halves, means that you end up with a reasonable size force.
Are you buying a box each and then just trading the halves?
I believe so.
So just like exactly what we did with
Yeah.
Dark Imperium. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we just
Cool.
have to wait and see what the price is. Pre-orders go up on the 16th.
16th, which is not too far away.
Next week.
Yeah, cool,
and
cool.
then release on the 30th of June, which should be pretty cool, man.
Nice. By that time, I should have maybe a few more of my Chaos Warriors good to go.
Yeah, I should really start painting my Slanesh as well.
You should. And then
won't
we can
have
have a
to.
game. Oh,
I'll have
yes.
Stormcast.
Stormcast.
It'll be
Paint him gold.
so good.
So much more.
So look, this is. I wasn't a big fan of Warhammer Fantasy Battle when it came out.
I can be honest. I said I never liked it at all. Just thought it was too big, too silly.
But I do like the look of AOS. Looking at something like I've been to tournaments and there've been AOS games going on, AOS tournaments.
And is it always funny that Age of Sigmar people look like they're having so much more fun
I know.
than, say, the fantasy players used to be? They're always grumps
Oh my God.
and all sad.
If you go to a tournament and you've got AOS on one side of the
And
room
the ninth
and
age?
ninth age on the other side of the room, you can tell the ninth age players straight away because they look salty as fuck.
And it's usually the Age of Sigmar people have finished their tournament for the day and they're just up to the magic phase in ninth age.
Correct.
So, slightly a bit different.
Yeah. I really do think that once again, G-Dub is onto a winner here with Soul Wars.
I don't feel dirty about saying G-Dub's doing a good job anymore because they've done such a great job. I mean, the prices are still absolutely horrid in this country and Australia.
But there are ways to get them.
But there are ways to get around that, and all New Zealanders and not Australians can't do it because your country's terrible and backwards. But New Zealanders can get around it by doing sneaky deaky things. But the rest of the world, you get okay prices. So, the minute you start saying, oh, but, you New Zealanders get paid more, or it costs money to ship it there, it's like, not really.
We're closer to China.
Yeah, closer to China than most of the stuff where all the Games Workshop stuff is made.
Exactly.
And containers cost literally nothing to send. And if the theory was the same, then bolt action would be more expensive in this country, as would Flames War, as would everything else.
And they're not.
Yeah.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Putting that to one side, that's something we're never going to be able to solve.
Unless we kill the Games Workshop.
What? But then we wouldn't have them. Whoever is making these decisions at Games Workshop is doing something 100 million% right, because they're going to make another shitload of money off this one. I can foresee it now. As long as it doesn't tie, and it's not going to go too closely to the Adeptus Titanicus release, which I think is slated for August.
But the Adeptus Titanicus might just be a specialist games release, won't it?
Yes.
So it has the initial box fanfare, but then everything is like a bit more subdued.
Yes.
And the people are saying, oh, I don't like Necromunda because it has that, subdued release. It's like, that's how old Necromunda used to work. Here's the big box set, come into Games Workshop, buy it. And if you need other stuff, either order it or go to specialist games to buy it.
Yeah.
Exactly how it used to work. And the people who like it, play it that way.
Yes, absolutely right.
Whereas Age of Sigmar and 40k will be their money.
Well, that's the core of their business. Yeah. AOS, 40k, and then everything else is just cream on top. And it just so happens things like Blood Bowl, massive cream. Things like Necromunda, not as massive. Adeptus Titanicus, I predict, will be massive cream.
I think the reason for Necromunda, we all know, is because the rule set changed.
Yeah.
They didn't stick with the old one, whereas Blood Bowl slightly changed, but not as dramatically.
It was effectively the same as 3rd edition.
Oh well, we can't change everything, but like we said, I think the original rules were free to download online.
Still are.
You
can still play them.
Still play them for Necromunda, so you just grab them and play the old way.
We should do that.
Depending on how you like it. Because
we keep talking about doing it.
We
never do.
But we're terrible people. Yeah. We haven't bought gangs. We haven't bought Necromunda. Shit.
We've got a gang?
We got the rulebook somewhere. Oh my god. Terrible people. Anyway,
rulebook?
It's on the shelf.
I'll read it.
No, it's just it's literally the continuation of the on the ground rulebook, the board game rulebook, and it just goes, it literally turns the page and says, and then you do this. It doesn't stop.
Oh yeah, right.
It's like part 2 with a different book. But yeah, that's pretty much us. So we're going to end up playing a lot of games. We're going to try and get more games in because we have been slack. Blame mostly Damian for not showing up for games, and the fact
Damian, if you disagree, speak now.
I would love to know how Ash or one of those guys manages to sit down, concentrate, paint an army for a game and play that game, and then go on to the next game without doing what we do and have that ADD where we're like, oh, next game.
The answer to that question is they don't have real jobs. Remember, GMG is Ash's job.
Why can't this be my job?
Because we don't have A, 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, and B, hundreds of people supporting us on Patreon.
Perhaps we need those.
That's the next step, right?
Yeah.
That's the next plan.
Hashtag let us work from home doing our fun.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Support the channel.
Help us out.
Like and subscribe, etc.
Send more money.
Send money.
And stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Patreons. Anyway,
it's been good to get a podcast in.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. I know Damien wasn't here, so they just, probably picked the mood up slightly a bit more than the down-faced bastard you used to.
We did miss him a little bit, though.
Just a tiny bit.
We were going to have a special guest, but that special guest unfortunately couldn't join us at the very last minute.
Yeah,
they had some other flocking to do.
Oh,
let's see what I did there.
Terrain jokes.
Oh.
Anyway, thanks for listening. You have a great day now. Remember to subscribe, push buttons, alert bells, YouTube, subscribe,
Follow
Twittery.
on Podbean.
Podbean is what we use. It's free to follow.
Totally.
Don't know what it does. But yeah, free to download all the time, 24/7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Free to listen, apart from data charges if you're using data and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Head on over to Facebook. Come on over to Instagram at us, BEL_podcast. Visit us on Twitter. Just keep an eye out for us. We're all over. If you are, and I'm going to issue this again, if you're in New Zealand, or in Auckland in particular, and are free on a Friday night and are interested in coming and having a game on YouTube, the Noob Lair is open. Send us a message either through Facebook or DM on Twitter, and we'll arrange a time to play you.
Yeah, we'll beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, beat you down.
All right.
We'll play just about anything.
Pretty much.
Except for Ninth Age.
Or Napoleonics, yeah.
No, I'll play Napoleon.
Nah.
Until episode 49, I've been Greg.
And I've been Dan.
Later.
Bye-bye.